whenever I wake up in the morning, I see the tattoo. It reminds me how the world is formed. That tells me that, okay, even after your existence, you have to keep your energies alive.
Yeah, like
So,
create something that can live
yes,
long
that's
beyond
correct.
you.
And when I woke up, I mean, of course, everything was that. So I look at this. They were sent by Lord Shiva. That's what I look at it as. Being a doctor, I get to see a lot of different people every day. Work on them, I chant mantras, of course. Sometimes Rudra Gayatri mantra or sometimes Mahamrityunjay mantra.
Hey, beautiful people. I, Dr. Anita Rajani, come to you with just another episode of Deep Talks, which is all about our spiritual beliefs, how we go hand in hand with our life, daily life. And here today, we have with us Dr. Pankaj Narvekar. He's a physiotherapist doctor and he is the Chief Medical Officer of National Sports Club of India, and he also owns the Sports Doc, and which is co-founded with the Midas Performance Studio. Yes, Doc?
Yeah, that's
Is
correct.
that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
I have seen his connection with Lord Shiva, and I have, connected to him only because of Lord Shiva. We had a lot
That's
of
true.
conversations, and I
Absolutely.
thought it would be very, very nice if we would have some conversations here for all of you to hear about his connection with Lord Shiva. And coming to you, Doc, let's begin with your tattoos. I hear that you have a big tattoo on your chest. Can you talk a bit about it?
Sure, sure. So it's on my chest and it's called as Purush Sukta. I mean how the world is formed, and right in the center near my heart there is a third eye. So it's Lord Shiva's third eye, and it was made back in 2019 when I came back from the UK. When I started feeling that I have more intense connections with Lord Shiva. So I just made it, whenever I wake up in the morning, I see the tattoo. It reminds me how the world is formed, and that gives me energy to start my day and, create my own universe. Maybe it's with my thoughts, with my energy, and be there even when I'm not there physically in this form.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yes, I would also like to know a more bit about your. So it's basically you're manifesting your life in what you want with the energies of Shiva, and uh, you feel very connected to him.
Absolutely.
And like you said, every day morning when you get up, you are touching this or you connect to this third eye.
Right.
And tell us more about this tattoo. Like, what does it really mean?
Yeah, so Purush Sukta means it's a shloka about how the world, the universe is formed. And it says that there is a man who created the entire universe. He had 10 heads, 10 hands, and 10 fingers. And so it's basically 10 directions. And, his energy was spread throughout these 10 directions. Uh, because of this energy, the world was formed, and even when the world was formed, his energies were still alive in all those 10 directions. So that tells me that, okay, even after your existence, you have to keep your energies alive.
Yeah, like
So
create something that can live
yes,
long
that's
beyond
correct.
you.
That's
Like we
correct.
can write a book or we
Yeah,
can do so many other
absolutely.
things,
Absolutely.
So you're thinking, okay,
Or
it's,
maybe just your thoughts,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Thank you very much for this,
Thank you.
sharing this with us today. Tell us more about this Purushukta. Like, is there a shloka? Is
It
there
is a
something that you have to
shloka.
say? Do you
It is
remember it? Can you
yeah,
say
yeah,
it
yeah,
for
yeah,
us
of course,
right
I
now?
remember it. Yeah, so it's like Om Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumi Vishwato Vrutva Atyatishta Shangulam. So that's the shlok
Wow.
which I explained you.
So
Yeah.
is this connected to Shiva? Like
So it's related to creator of the
the
universe,
creator
and
of
yes,
the
and
universe?
it's not just Lord Brahma, it's Lord Shiva as well, as we know that he created
Maybe the
universe.
Brahma,
Yes.
Vishnu, Mahesh together,
Of
basically.
course, yes.
That's very, very beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you have this connection with Shiva since birth, or did you see some of your family members? How did this connection begin?
Yeah, so I mean, it's really interesting, you know. I My family was spiritual, of course, not a lot, but just like an ordinary Indian family. They did puja part, etc., etc. But it never fascinated me. Since childhood, I would say I was an atheist, and I never believed in God. Because everyone prayed, I used to pray. I used to join my hands
Correct.
and say the prayers. I really did not know the meaning of it. But there were some situations in life which took me towards Lord Shiva, and when I think about God, or when someone says God, if it really exists, then if I close my eyes, I just think that it's Lord Shiva. Yeah. And it did not, there wasn't just one incident which caused this, but later towards my life, maybe 8, 10 years back, I started feeling those. And yeah, if you ask me, since birth, I wasn't very spiritual, but in last 10 years, yeah, I'm
Any
absolutely.
particular episode that you remember, something which was magical, which you got like. So, because see, you are a doctor,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
normally it's known that doctors, have their left brain more activated, they're more logical, they need proofs, for everything. And science always needs proofs, no? Without proofs, they don't believe in
Absolutely.
anything. So it's such a fact, like, but when a doctor can, get to a space where their, right brain is also activated,
Right.
and they can, use their intuition and their logic, the medical knowledge that they have. I think they can create wonders. Like you can say, they can be the creator themselves.
Absolutely.
And we have also seen the magic that you create when you are doing your treatment for the people.
Right.
I have seen it myself, and I have seen how magical, your healing. It's like a healing touch.
Right.
So basically, my question to you again is like, is there any episode, any experience that you feel that, gave you proof? Like,
Right.
we don't get tangible proofs, but we
Right.
do get
Right.
intangible proofs.
Right.
Or maybe a
Right.
consciousness can open up
Right.
to a level where,
Right.
you
Right.
can start feeling things rather than just knowing things.
Right. I mean, it's meeting people which started with me. I mean, I used to hear the conversations, and that took me towards,
Oh, wow. So you
yeah.
met people like evolved people,
Yes.
saint like people who might
Absolutely.
have
Yes.
some kind of
Absolutely. Absolutely.
energies, and that kind
Absolutely.
of got you into, opened up
Right.
some energy
Yeah.
centers within
Yeah.
you, your consciousness, and you could
Yes. Yes.
feel more.
And at that time, you don't really feel it's real, or it's that intense. But after some time, you think
Slowly get,
about it. You
yeah, yeah.
visit places and
Connect.
connect. So there's one incident which I remember when I was in my undergraduate school in Pune. So there's a temple called as Pataleshwar Mandir. It's again of Lord Shiva.
Yes.
It looks like a cave-like structure, and if you go there, Patal means, of course, Patal. So I went there, and the vibes were different. That gave me an intuition that okay, there is some connect between Lord Shiva and me, and probably that led a little further, and then I started reading more what exactly is Lord Shiva. By the time I just knew, okay, there's a Lord who holds Trishul, and his son is Lord Ganesh, etc.
That's knowledge
Yeah,
and
and
conditioning, basically. So
exactly,
that's the
exactly.
difference, when we can feel beyond what we have been taught as children. Because as
Correct,
being Indians, we have all been brought up in families
correct,
where we are having a
correct.
lot of conditioning that it's God and we have to pray and things
Yeah,
like that. But the moment you can feel it, the moment you can
absolutely,
understand why you're being
absolutely.
told what you're being told, I think it's a different
Yeah,
connect. Tell us about your Somnath experience and the Nandi experience. I think
yeah,
everybody would
yeah.
love to hear
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. That's a very interesting incident. I'll first tell you, I think I did not reveal it anywhere. So, how I went to Somnath and how did everything happen? A couple of years ago, I met someone for marriage perspective. And this female was also Lord Shiva Bhakt. So she told me that on a Shivratri she had gone to Somnath, and she was on a solo trip. She did a journey and she climbed 10,000 steps and came back to Girnar. So first she went to Somnath and then to Girnar. So I'll come to the Girnar story later. So she had gone there to Somnath and came back, and she explained me the entire story. And I was like, okay, I can also do it. What's so difficult in that? Um, and then what happened is, the next year I thought of planning for the same. But I was not getting leaves, and also since you are into healthcare, it's too tough to tell your patients no. And luckily, what happened on the day of Shivratri, I wanted to reserve my tickets because every plan was falling into place. The patient number of patients was less,
Oh,
so I was able
wow.
to, so I booked a Tatkal ticket, went to Somnath. I slept in the train. It was 17 hours of journey, and trust me, this was the first longest train journey which I did. So I went to Somnath, reached
From where
there,
to where was this?
Mumbai. So from Mumbai, I went to Somnath.
17
17
hours.
hours, yes. So I
Okay.
reached Somnath, went to a small lodge, changed my clothes. I also there I was wearing a traditional dhoti and a shirt. And I went there, and as soon as I went there, I reached there, the vibes were very different. So I started walking. I went to the temple. There was crowd because it was Shivratri on the same day. So I went to the temple. Of course, whenever I go to the temple, I usually carry a pale patra and I touch it to the Shivlinga, keep it towards my heart, and take it along with me. I took that. I came out of the temple and started walking towards the lodge to take my bag. So when I was walking, I saw a huge bull like a Nandi, and he was just walking besides me. So I have a habit of touching a cow and just taking the blessings of cow. But for the first time, I touched a bull. I don't know why, how it happened. And as soon I touched the bull, for a few seconds, I was out of the world. The feeling was a little overwhelming. I started having tears in my eyes, and I don't know why. I still don't have the answers, but it could be a message from Lord Shiva. It could be a meeting with Nandi at that time. But I mean, I can still get the goosebumps
Yes.
and feel that it was the feeling was out of the world. I never got such kind of feeling even in any temple so far. So yeah, I mean, I think of it. I mean, I realized. I think when I met you last time, I told you this, and you maybe told me that it could be a meeting with
Yes, it is
Nandi.
because these are the tangible proofs are these.
Right,
What
right.
you said right now, the feeling of these goosebumps
Yeah,
when you touch that overwhelming
yeah.
feeling, whenever we connect to higher energies or vibrations, and
Right.
there will be this complete, like a trance like state, and this, you will feel as if there is something. You just go deep, deep, deep into it, and you will
Right.
feel like something has happened here.
Right.
Obviously, you wouldn't know what, but you will know that something happened here.
Right.
So these are tangible proofs enough that, there has been an connection, and it's beautiful. I met Nandi, I too, in, when I'd gone right now for my Rameshwaram trip.
Oh wow.
And we were in Minakshi temple on Shivratri day. Again, it's beautiful because
Right.
that's validation for me also.
Exactly.
And when we were there in the Shivratri morning, there were this one man, he was holding this cow, bull rather, and sitting there. He said, "This is Nandi." And when we touched it, the vibrations were certainly very different. But you know how our logic is, okay, this man has come and he's got the, buffalo or
Right.
bull or whatever. And then it was like, okay, how it, okay, it must be something. They must have just got it. But
Right.
right now, when you are talking to me, it's clicking to me like, wow, you never know. I too may
Exactly.
have encountered a real energetic,
Right.
connection there.
Right. Right.
It's very beautiful if you can meet Nandi, because I think the connection of Shiva with Nandi is atal. And
Absolutely.
I think the way or the pathway to meet him is also through Nandi, as they say.
100%.
So it's beautiful when you say that.
Right, right.
Amazing. So, Doc, let's go to our next question. Tell us about your
Yes.
Girnar experience.
So yeah, after this Somnath journey, I took a bus from Somnath to Girnar. It was 2.5 hours away, and again in the journey, I was accompanied by Ganas of Shiva. So there were a lot of sadhus sitting in the same bus. I was probably on the third last seat, and I was totally drained. So I completely slept off on the seat, and there were, I guess, 4 to 5 sadhus who were on the journey. Initially, I was a little skeptical.
Wait. What did you say? You were drained.
Yeah, I mean, tired of
The
traveling.
Somnath darshan and everything.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. And it was hot, I mean, out there. So then I was on the bus. I don't remember. I drank a few buttermilk and stuff like that and took this bus. I was sitting on the bus and there were a lot of sadhus surrounded. So they were talking, discussing things in between them. And I was tired. So I slept. And I think I directly woke up when we reached Junagadh. So one of the sadhus woke me up and he's like, "Pahunch gaye hum." So then I woke up and I took my bag and again went out. It was somewhere about 6 o'clock ish in the evening. So then I again found one more place where I kept my bag, freshen up, and then I started moving towards Girnar. So Girnar is where, of course, Lord Datta is there. Datta is descendant of Kundalini Vidya. So before going here a while ago, I read about Kundalini. It's a book by Om Swami. He is one of the
What's the name of the book?
it's Kundalini. It's
Oh,
Kundalini.
okay.
Yes, Kundalini is the name of that book, and it was written by Om Swami. He was also a billionaire Australian, and then he came to India and became a monk himself. So then, that book was, I mean, I carried that book with me. And then, yeah, I started moving out for, again, the Girnar climb. So Girnar is basically 10,000 steps and you reach Lord Datta's temple.
Okay.
But yeah, here the 10,000 steps are not so easy. I mean, it's, I guess, 2 or 3 mountains you go up and down, climb up and
wow.
down, and then you go. And I was already energized. I was like, I told that the friend of mine that, okay, I'm going to do this on Shivratri. And I was like, okay, let's go. So on the night of Shivratri, there is a parade kind of thing of sadhus. So all these sadhus from different parts of Girnar is jungle again. So from all that part, they gather together and there's a parade kind of a thing where all the sadhus move around. And it's at certain areas it's like a show of sadhus walking around in the, and all a huge crowd gathers around to see that. So I went there and saw a lot of sadhus, and one of the person was telling me that, okay, there's a kund where they dive in the end inside. Few of them return out, they come out. Few of them directly teleport to their locations from there.
It's a portal. Basically,
Yes,
that's a portal
yes,
for
yes.
transfer from the
Yes.
sadhus. Were they Naga sadhus or just sadhus?
Mixed of them, but
Okay.
yeah, a lot of them were Naga sadhus also. So yeah, so that was something which I heard for the first time.
There are many portals
Yeah.
on Earth.
Yeah,
Many in the
exactly.
Himalayas.
Of course, of
There's
course.
in,
And
yeah.
these guys do a lot of meditation. Probably they spend their entire life meditating.
Correct.
So of course they probably possess these siddhis with them.
Yes.
So yeah, then I started climbing. First 100 steps easy again. I was like, okay, let's go. I'm doing it. I saw a couple of sadhus there also. One of them was, his head was completely dug under the land,
Oh,
and his
wow.
rest of the body was over, and he was still breathing, and there was some mantras being played around him. So that was again fascinating for me, because I haven't seen anything like this. Then I started climbing up. I reached 250 steps, maybe. And then, I started feeling, okay, now I'm too tired. And this is not
Yeah, I'm
my.
also realizing 10,000 is a lot.
Yeah, and I was still at 250, and that's I started feeling that okay, it's not my cup of tea. I think I should take a break and then do it. I pushed myself. I was like, let's go ahead. I'll take a break at 1,000 step. I reached somewhere at 1,950 or 980 ish, and I heard two people talking in between that. Okay, it's good that they were talking in Marathi. It's good that I did not eat a lot, otherwise it would have been difficult to climb. Then, of course, being a native Marathi speaker, I went to them and asked them, okay, is it your first time? So, out of these two guys, there was one person who was doing it for the first time, and the second has already done 3 to 4 times Girnar. So the person who did it 3 to 4 times is a retired army guy. So he was like, "Are you doing it for the first time?" I was like, "Yes." So he's like, "Okay, let's go. I'll accompany you, and we'll go together." And when I mentioned meeting right people, is this, of course. So, probably I would have given it up at 5,000 steps.
Yeah.
But since this person was there, we took a couple of breaks. I mean, we took a halt for drinking, juices and water and stuff like that. But yeah, non-stop we went to 10,000. And in between, there were places like Gorakshnath's temple and Datta Guru's Dhuni, where, where we had our meal, and it was prasad from that place. And all, entirely, during the entire journey, I had so many different experiences and very, very, very positive vibrations everywhere, right? From Datta Dhuni to. Uh, Also, I encountered one more person. He was a foreigner. So on our way back, he was climbing up, and he was climbing up in this vastra. There was no, no pants and shirts like that. He was carrying that vastra on his body. He had a stick, and at every step, he was chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Wow.
And that certainly started echoing everywhere. You know, and I guess he was from Germany. So he was climbing, no cell phones, nothing with him, just a stick, and that chant Om Namah Shivaya was going on. So yeah, I reached the 10,000 step, and it was an overwhelming feeling again there, at such a high altitude. And the temple was, I mean, it was a very tiny temple, maybe
Yes.
uh, you know not more than 200 square feet, but it was just the peak, and that the area 200 square feet was probably the only peak. And that's the temple. And yeah, so I went there, and while returning also, halfway down, I thought I'll take a ropeway while coming back, but this person was there to push us. So okay, and then we did that journey, and we came back. And the next morning I thought, okay, I'll be too tired, but I just reached, I took shower, and then took my bags, and again left out to explore places in Junagadh. So whenever you go to such places, you gain a lot of energy. You gain a lot of energy from people from that place. So yeah, I would recommend everyone, doing Kirnar at least once in their life.
Yeah,
That
I'm
will,
getting very attracted to it.
yeah,
So it's all about the journey and not the destination.
not the destination.
It's the entire thing from you sitting in that bus with all
Absolutely,
those ganas, and then
absolutely.
moving towards that. Even like when you told me sleep, I asked you again, did you sleep? But I know you said I was tired, and your logic told you all sorts
Yeah,
of things. But we all know, like when we are moving towards something so skeptical, like the it's so profound,
yeah,
the
yeah.
entire energy, that the human body sleeps to recover or to energize or to heal. And when we are doing these difficult things like 10,000 steps towards, the Lord, when we are going to do his darshans, it is all about clearing your karmic
Absolutely.
residues, clearing yourself out
Absolutely.
of your karmic baggages.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
and then it is like, when you get tired, the tiredness is actually, so you could manage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the
100%.
tiredness was what? Then what was the tiredness? And what was the energy that you got? So the tiredness is the kind of the karmic baggage. You know how you're
Possible.
carrying sacks and
Possible.
sacks with you and you have to climb a hill?
Possible.
You're going to get tired. And then
Yeah.
someone comes along, which is the grace of the Lord, because he wants you to come there.
That's
Without
true.
his calling, we can go
That's true.
nowhere.
That's true.
And he wants you to come there, and then he sends people, like you said, you could hear. So recognizing these kind of things, like something is happening to me,
Right.
someone has sent, these are all messages which God
Absolutely.
sends. You could have picked up this message, or you could have ignored this message.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then you could have again, your direction would have been different.
Right.
Because you recognized that this was Lord sent in
Right.
a way. And then when you
Right.
picked up that message or spoke to those people, you reached the
Right.
destination like effortlessly.
Right. Also, when I mentioned the sadhus, about the sadhus, they were there. A lot of people told me, since you're going alone on the journey, just protect your bags, keep your money safe, and stuff like that. But I was totally drained and I slept. And when I woke up, I mean, of course, everything was that. So I look at this with this perspective of, okay, they were there to protect me. In a way,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm sure.
They were sent by Lord Shiva. That's what
Yes,
I look
yes,
at
yes. That's
it
so
as.
amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the devotion. That's the trust and the faith in the Lord that shows us that how he sends people, even like, the bus, all those people who were there, it
Right.
really looked like they're there leading you to your destination, it's
Absolutely.
amazing. Because nothing is a coincidence.
Yeah.
Nothing is a
100%.
coincidence.
100%.
Everything is designed by the Lord.
Yeah.
Tell me, when you visit a temple, being a doctor, I'm asking you that because I would like the audience to understand certain things, when you enter a temple, do you feel the energies are different from the energies on the outside, like normal places?
200%.
Do you think they're more sacred?
200% different. So recently I went to a temple in my mother's village. So the temple is quite ancient. It's a Bhagwati temple, Lord Bhagwati. It's a Devi's
Ma,
Swaroop. So yeah,
yes.
Ma's Swaroop. So I went there, and again I had that overwhelming feeling. The entire spine starts absorbing energies, and you feel that connection. And I've been to that same temple earlier, maybe 10, 15 years back. I did not have that kind of feeling. So, you not everyone can feel those energies.
Yeah.
You have to be even slightly spiritually inclined
Yeah.
or open
Consciousness
to receive
has
the
to
energy.
open,
Yes, yes.
basically. What happened then and now was that your
Yes.
consciousness
Yes.
opened up.
Yes, 100%. Also, it's also about the energies of people. It's not just temple or place of worship. If you meet someone who's spiritually inclined, if the last time I think we had similar conversation when Sumit was treating you, I told you that, okay, when I meet you, there's a huge energy shift in everything. So I feel, yeah, of course, when you meet right people, there is different kind of energy which flows.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, to answer this question, yes, definitely there's shift in energy when you go to
Yes.
such places.
Yes, yes. It's very healing. I think that's
100%.
just one of the reasons why we must visit temples. Like
Yeah.
when they say God is within us, yes, God is definitely within us. But sometimes we need to visit them because the temples are energy centers.
100%.
And it is like when you're visiting them, it's a reminder of the faith that you need to, be at when, so
Right.
many times in life, we might get pulled down, we might lose hope, have less faith, start doubting ourselves. Our mind is a very strong thing that will keep us,
Right.
going up and
Right,
down
that's
this
correct.
entire journey of being one with God. And visiting temples is just a beautiful reminder. And it's also like an energizer. It's like you're just getting there to energize yourself and coming back.
Yeah.
No?
That's what happened when I went to
Yeah.
Somnath and Girnar. I
Yes,
received
yes.
a lot of
Lot of
energies
energy,
and
lot
came
of
back.
energy.
And that, I look at that aspect. After that, things started changing in my life. I
Oh,
met
I'm
the
sure.
right person, of course, and I got married a
Yes,
month ago.
yes.
So, yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
beautiful too.
Yeah. Thank you.
So tell me, apart from visiting temples or doing some mantras, is there any other way you connect to the Lord, or this is it?
By serving to humans, I mean, to help,
Yes,
being a doctor, I get to see a lot of different people every day.
yes,
So, and almost all of them come to us with pain. So,
yes.
since
I think
being a
even they have
physio,
a lot of emotional pain and
yes,
they come
yeah,
and talk. I've
100%,
seen them talking
100%.
to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So they talk and explain, and we work on them, work on their bodies. One thing which I do differently, which I would recommend all the doctors doing, or physios especially if they are working on anyone. So when I work on them, I chant mantras. Of course, sometimes Rudra Gayatri mantra, or sometimes Mahamrityunjay mantra, and that helps me well. I don't know how science would not agree with me, but my conscience agrees with me that
Yes.
I am able to help them, cure them faster if I am chanting these mantras. And I have no logic to it, but
It's
you
just
know
something that comes to you naturally.
200%, yeah, that helps me,
I
that
remember
helps
the day
them.
when I was in a lot of pain and you had
Yeah,
to come home.
yeah,
And I
exactly.
think within half an hour of you opening up whatever had got locked, it was like
Right, right,
I just couldn't even move.
right, yeah.
And I was like, Doc, you have magical hands there.
Yeah, that's true, that's
Yeah,
true, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's amazing. It's beautiful when, so this is my entire reason or the intention of the podcast is that everyone should know that, even because this is not something we talk about in
Right.
general. This is not something we share with, generally even to our clients or to our people. It's
Right.
something that should reach across to people, and they should know that there is a way where you can align yourself with the higher energies, and then you can see magic happening in your
That's
life.
true,
There's
that's
so
true.
much magic that happens because
Right,
life is always with its ups and
right.
downs, but when we are aligned in the right way, we can see that life, like you said, I saw my life
Right,
transforming after that.
right,
Things started moving, you got
right.
married, work started happening better,
100%.
results will come more.
Also, I would want to mention, I'm glad that you have started something like deep talks, because there are a lot of people who don't know the right path in the world. They don't know
Yes.
what they have to do, and here people like you or people like me, when we talk on the podcast, we share our experiences. It's just the way of God. He is putting us there.
Yes.
It's not us
Yes.
who do anything.
Yes.
It's him.
Yes.
He's putting us
100%.
in the right places. And even if one person listens to this podcast and finds their way, oh, the purpose is solved. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Do you believe that we don't go to him, he calls us?
Yes, absolutely.
And like when we are ready, you know, his presence will become only deeper and stronger.
Right.
So, what for the people whose calling has not come as yet? How do they, after listening to a podcast, or if they're getting even little motivated, how do you think that they should do, or what should they do to, so that maybe how things get activated for them, and then they start, getting these kind of intuitions, or.
I would say just be alert. Just stay positive. Keep doing your bit, and simply
Good karmas?
yeah,
Do you think
hundred
that's
percent,
very
100%.
important?
Very much, very much.
Yeah.
You do good, and good will come to you.
Yes.
So
Till then, we have to keep doing good. I
hundred
think
percent, hundred
that
percent.
will also
Yeah,
increase the moment the grace starts flowing.
absolutely.
It's going to really help that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Yeah, I think
Tell me, as a doc, how much is intuition very important in life?
I rely a lot on intuitions.
Yeah.
A few years ago, when my friend, one I got an intuition suddenly. I don't know from where, out of nowhere, it hit me that okay, one of my friends is going to be hospitalized, and he or she is not going to be well. And after some time, I got a call from my friend. Okay, that okay, I'm not well, and something like that. Then since then, I started considering this as okay, you are getting intuitions, and then that has helped me a lot in life also. Uh, Not every time it will be true, but you have to be alert, you have to be conscious.
Learn
Okay,
to recognize
and
it.
then later on probably you will understand what is intuition, what is your thought. So that is
Yes.
very important,
Yes.
and it would not happen over time. You need practice, you need
Yes.
your devotion, you need
Yes. It's a
to.
process.
Yeah,
It will
absolutely.
take its own time.
Absolutely.
Learning to trust,
100%.
learning to
Yeah,
discern whether this is my intuition or this is my thoughts,
that's true.
and then
That's true.
learning to trust it and allowing it to flow in your life.
Yes.
That helps a lot.
Yes.
That helps a lot. So, in any profession, that would be.
Any
I think
profession.
any profession, if we can allow our. So, I've seen so many people, they work hard, they are very honest, they're doing everything to a T, but life is not working for them, And there are people who are maybe not working that hard, but they're allowing their intuition to flow and they know just which door to open, how to go.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
obviously, they're working hard again, not that they're not working hard, but not to the level. Maybe the
Right.
other one is who's like just going on and on and on, but nothing is working for him.
Right.
And I think intuition is very important,
Very, very
along with your
important.
logic, to bring the order in the situation. And
Yeah.
it's like knowing what to do when and then doing it,
Yeah. Yeah.
allowing your masculine and feminine to align with itself.
100%. I would give you an example that, sometimes there are patients who come to me who have visited tons of different doctors and the problem is not getting solved.
Yes.
And here you cannot apply logic. Logic is already applied by tons of others.
Correct.
Here you have to apply your intuition and
That is such a good example.
yeah, yeah. So that's what. So yeah, I would say intuition a lot.
Yes, yes,
A lot.
yes, yes. Yeah, because even I think as a doctor, many people might have to, so many times there will be, because human body is one, but yet every case must be different. I don't think there is any one case which is same.
No, not at all.
No?
Not at all.
They're all different.
Absolutely.
Even if the problem is one, I think the way to treat it would be so
It's
different.
different.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that very, very well. Being a therapist, we know when people come with problems, say it's a relationship problem, but their psyches are so different from each
Right.
other. Everybody
Right.
needs to be treated.
Absolutely.
Do you believe, like, because you're treating so many people, do you believe that emotions play a lot of role in the way they have these aches and pains? And so
lot.
many times they're psychosomatic and
A lot.
they are not like really, there's actually not any pain
A
there.
lot. A lot. So when I studied my bachelor's degree in India and my master's from University of Birmingham in the UK, when I went there, the Western world is studying psychosomatic pain a lot, and they care about your psychosomatic pain a lot as compared to the physical pain. And it has huge influence. I have experienced it myself. When I go through stress, I get sciatica like pain in my leg. So the ultimate thing is, you need to understand when it's psychosomatic. So, then I started looking at the pains of people that it could be psychosomatic, and counseling them. And spirituality helped me a lot in counseling
I'm sure.
people. Yes, yes.
Is there any pattern you have seen in people?
There isn't any pattern, but a lot of things which come these days are either relationship, either it could be, with their parents or, with their spouses or something like that. And a lot of times these days, work. Work is being a lot stressful for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm
so I
sure.
would recommend, trying meditation and stuff like that, which will keep you away from a lot of stress.
Yeah, I think the way to cope up with this life is reading books, self-help
Yes,
books,
yes,
doing
absolutely.
meditations,
Absolutely.
going for these meets where there, you have like-minded people and you
Yeah.
feel belonged, rather than
100%.
seeing yourself only struggling in life and not knowing where
Correct.
you're going.
Correct.
I think all these things are very important for people
Very, very
nowadays.
important.
And Can you tell us a little more about the book that you read, the Om Swami Kundalini
Yeah,
by
so
Om
in
Swami?
this book Kundalini, Om Swami has written about his experience. First of all, what he used to do. He was a billionaire in Australia, and then one fine day he felt that okay, this is not my interest. My interest is something else, and he has come back to India, started meditating, and he is not there on any social media. He only talks on, there's a website of him, os.me. So he talks there, and he's a brilliant guy. I mean, he talks about Kundalini, etc. In his book, he has explained the history of Kundalini, what exactly is Kundalini awakening, what experiences do you get, and how long does it take. Uh, so it's a very nice book. Anyone interested
Very
in
detailed.
very detailed one, and he has read the authentic text on Kundalini, and then he has
Written this
rewritten this
book.
book. Yeah,
And obviously, I feel a person of that caliber would write more from his own personal
yes,
experience and
yes,
knowingness.
yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. I think it's a good recommend. I'm also going to go and read it.
100%,
And I haven't read
100%.
this book.
It's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. Doc, coming to a quick question and answer round, just a quick one word replies. Logic or intuition?
Intuitions,
Prayer or medicine?
prayers.
Hard work or destiny?
If you have to reach your destiny, you have to do hard work.
Yeah.
But yeah, destiny is something you cannot change. But your hard work will take you to the right destiny. If
Direction.
you don't do hard work, you're not going to go anywhere.
Coming to our last but not the least question, give one advice to the people, depending on your life story, whatever you have understood or whatever is a lesson you have learned from life, if you would like to share it with the audience.
For sure, for sure. So I would recommend everyone to, be alert and understand, okay, which is the calling from God. It could be a person telling you some story or, some fact about the Lord. It could be a place which is giving you a different vibration. You just need to identify. Being a doctor, I would tell you to, meditate, exercise, and, that could be your therapy to get out of the stress. But, you know, I would tell everyone that, okay, there is God in any form you can see, in person or in your service.
Yeah.
But there is God, and
Yes.
I have experienced it personally.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for this
having me.
sharing. And thank you for this lovely conversation in Deep
Yeah.
Talks. I think we have gone deep enough for the people
Yeah.
to get some kind of information. And I think they will take back something valuable
Right.
for them to help them in their lives, to lead them and have a better life.
Right.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
Pankaj.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to you. And thanks to Deep Talks. And thanks for this initiative so that people will get more out of it. Thank you.
Thank you.